What's up? This is Dr. Nima, and I am pleased to be broadcasting here in our Trigger Proof community. Over 11,000 people. Wow. This whole community began about 2 years ago, I think it was, almost 3 years ago now, during the pandemic, when actually I was kind of isolation. I was in isolation. I had just come back from a trip to Thailand and discovered that the world had gone crazy and I had to isolate. And I was in my apartment by myself. My wife and my pregnant fiance was at her home in Victoria, British Columbia, trying to figure out what the heck to do with myself. And so I decided to create a community called Trigger Proof. And so that's where you are right now. And I would just do these transmissions. I would call them Trigger Proof transmissions because everybody in the world was highly activated. The collective nervous systems of the entire world was in this state of dysregulation. And luckily, the work that I do with our community, I teach people how to heal from trauma bonds, and which involves a certain set of practices of learning self-regulation so that we can move, we can heal the present, complete the past, and create the future. And nowhere was it more important to start practicing and teaching these skills and these awarenesses than during the pandemic. So fast forward, here we are now, a few years later. Now we have over 11,000 people in the community, and it's really great to, I'm super busy with our Cycle Breakers community, people who have invested in actually healing and shifting the dynamic of their relationships, going from infidelity to being more aligned than ever, or going from should I stay or go, and finally deciding to uncouple with, with respect, with love, without hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal expenses, which can be absolutely brutal. So during the Christmas holidays, as you can see from the description, I kind of wrote a little kind of story of the understanding of why things are so difficult in this most wonderful time of year. They end up being the worst for many people. Relationships between now and Valentine's Day will break down more than the rest of the year. There's a spike, there's an uptick in divorce and breakups. Why? Well, because of dysregulation, because people aren't conditioned to take the time to create boundaries around themselves to fill their own cups. And that's why the Overview Experience Breathwork Badassery events that we normally do separately, we are going to be doing it together December 17th in this community. Our Cycle Breakers communities are already it's an active part of their monthly training. But what we do in these, if you're new, welcome. We open these events to the public, to people who are just like, what is this? What is this stuff? Is this some sort of a cult? What is this guy doing? He's quite, it's just kind of like Mr. Bean meets Justin Timberlake looking dude. Who is this weird looking dude? And you want to actually come and experience what our Cycle Breakers are deeply engaged in the practice of. The invitation is for you to join us Saturday, December 17th from noon Pacific time to 6 p.m. I'm going to be combining breathwork and the Overview Experience. What that means is that's 3 p.m. if you're in Eastern time to 9 p.m. And if you're in Australia, that means it is 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday morning in New South Wales time. So work that out. Now, you might be thinking, gosh, it's such a busy time. I'm got so much to do. And that's exactly, this is the thing. The reason why we can't becomes the reason why we must every single time in the healing world. we are conditioned to give up ourselves. Enmeshment trauma is really about having no boundaries around our sense of being, that it's like these boundaries become porous. So other people's emotions and their philosophies and their ways of being spill over into ours. One of my clients described it as, I feel like a jellyfish. And so it's what's really difficult about that is, in order to heal that, we must lean into the discomfort of creating a space and a boundary around our time and energy so that we can go within. And the breathwork and overview event that's coming up on December 17th is literally the perfect example, perfect practice, where you get to lean into that discomfort and choose that. Why? So that you can learn how to fill that cup, learn what our cycle breakers are in the midst of practicing and doing, so that your children, your partner, the people in your world during the holiday season actually get a self-loving, self-accepting, boundaried, understanding, and yet compassionate version of you. Your presence is a gift to others. But if you're not present with you and learning how to regulate yourself, your health turns to shit, your relationships turn to shit, your parenting is not at its optimum, and the people around you receive a dysregulated version of yourself. So if this is really important to you, to start your holidays off on the right foot, to take all of this unresolved stuff you've been carrying, check into your body right now. Take a deep breath in and notice how much tension you're carrying in your body. Well, this is an opportunity for you to learn within a beautiful community container, guided by yours truly, this dude, guiding you back to yourself. And the invitation is for you there. Please join us if you want to show up as a really open-hearted, present, highest ideal version of yourself this holiday season. And we'll see you at the next perfect time.
Make sure you subscribe.